This morning I'm giving a class on storytelling called The Story Within the Story. So just to share a bit of a story with you, there are, I would think, at least three types of stories. There's one story that is absolutely not true, and that when people hear the story, they know that the story is not true. There's sometimes a story which is to teach us a halacha. In other words, we will have in the Gemara today various times where they have a doubt about something, and people report that this and this happened with so-and-so, and therefore from that we learn a particular halacha, or it had to have been this way. Then we have stories that we are told that we don't know, are they true or are they not? Some of them seem like they're so fantastic that they cannot be true. Some seem to go against everything that we assume is possible. And how do we look at those types of stories? So the Rambam says that there are three different groups when it comes to those stories. And I'm talking about stories that are from, let's call it the Chachamim. And the Rambam says that there are three groups as to how they look at those stories. Some people believe every word as accurate as being true. The Rambam says, but that's foolish. There's some people who look at the story and says that's impossible, and therefore these are all stupid. Those people are incorrect also because they deny the fact or the interpretation or the meaning that comes from it. The Rambam says that there's a third group. He said they're really too small to call them a kat. They're too small to be able to refer to them as a group. And they take a look at the story and try to see what we can derive from the story. So I just have to tell you one story. Yesterday at Shalosh Shudas, when I was talking about Lashon Hara, leave the name out for as it's being reported, said, well, there's a story about the Chafetz Chaim, that when he became old, in order not to hear Lashon Hara, people said to him something, and he said, well, I don't have to worry. In my youth, I could be very careful about Lashon Hara, I have to go away, or things like that. But now that I'm old, I'm lucky, because nobody's going to come and yell Lashon Hara into my ear. So I said, well, actually, the way I heard the story was, a story within a story, that is, that when he became elderly, people offered to get him a hearing aid. And he said, no, I don't want to get one, because this way I can hear whatever is necessary, and if it's going to be Lashon Hara, no one will come and yell it in my ear. And there are many, many such stories about the Chafetz Chaim. So are all these stories true? Are they not? So the famous answer is, if you believe all of the stories about all of the different Rebbes, and sometimes it's the same story with just a different Rebbe. I tell you the story with the name of my Rebbe. You tell the story with the name of your Rebbe. If you believe that it happened with every single one of them, then you're probably foolish. But if you don't believe that couldn't have happened with any of them, then you're missing out on everything, and the term that's used is you're an unbeliever if you think that such a thing could never have happened with any of them. So hopefully you'll all have good stories today to be able to tell over.